Hello everyone, welcome. Today this video is going to be about stop trying to find a ground. And we may notice this subtly or overtly. And overtly is usually like we're trying to understand non-duality, spirituality with the mind. And then more subtly is more like an energetic tension or an energetic restlessness that is trying to land on like some final resting point. Whether it's consciousness, whether it's emptiness, whether it's being, whatever word you want to use, it's trying to land. It's trying to maintain. It's trying to hold on to a certain state that it's experienced. And this usually happens because, we may watch a video, we may do a meditation, we may do a practice, and we have this boom, and this release of tension and release of suffering arises, as we sort of unclench to reality. We're not seeking anything other than this moment. That stops happening. But very quickly, the mind interprets that, and it might say, oh, I realized I'm consciousness. Oh, I've realized I'm awareness. The nature of reality is empty. There is no self. There's no one here. Oh, wow. And at the time it feels fine, and there's also the little bit of identity that says, I've realized, I've understood something now. I'm there, I've got it. And what happens is very quickly the mind has taken a snapshot of tried to interpret what's happened. And then it tries to turn it into a ground to abide in, to rest in, or a land. It turns it into like a little landing. And there's subtler and subtler landings. Like the first landing is just belief in just ego and thought. But even when we let go of thought, sometimes the mind gets attached to consciousness, or it gets attached to an idea of infinite being, and then it has to and then that creates duality and states. And as we go on this process, there seems to be a refinement, and the refinement is just letting go of whatever view you are holding. Letting go of any landing pad you have, because that creates, any landing you have will create energetic tension. Because nothing is permanent. Nothing in reality is stable. Because it's usually a blend of like an insight versus a feeling of peace. So the mind wants to maintain that peace, maintain that state, maintain that insight. And what gets seen is there's nowhere to land. There is no way that reality is. There's no final resting place. At most, what could be said is just there's seeing, healing, thinking, feeling, colors, shapes. And there's no ground that's resting on. True emptiness isn't a ground that is realized, or things come and arise from emptiness. And emptiness could be points to the groundless nature of everything. That there is no fundamental reality, concept, idea to land on. You can't catch anything. You don't land anywhere, and there's tension in wanting to land on something, to finally understand, I've landed on this, and now spirituality, or everything all makes sense to me. But it doesn't happen like that. It's more like you just see that I can't rest anywhere. I can't land on anything. Because anything you try to land on is like a energetic structure in the mind, pretty much. It's a thought. It's why if you do a session with me, all that I will do is just try and remove any landing pads you have. I may create one, but usually it's taken away quite quickly afterwards. Because they can be bridges, right? Words like consciousness, awareness, they can be a bridge to even get some idea, or move in the direction of the sort of unborn, or whatever we want to call that, the groundless nature of reality. But even I have to be careful with this video and not to turn groundlessness into another ground, another landing. And it's uncomfortable because you may notice the mind, it may want to lean into the peace, lean into the contentment, in like a weird way, we can become attached to the peace that's arising, the bliss, the joy, like that's it. But you'll notice, like, yeah, you can lean into that, right, and experience the peace and contentment or whatnot, but it will never last, and you'll be met with future suffering, or you're still holding onto a very subtle attachment to a ground of peace, and it can be hard to let go of. You may not want to. It may be comfortable, this ground of consciousness, because it's just because it's not that the inside is wrong, right? It's not like this ground of awareness is wrong. It's more the understanding of it is wrong. It's you're interpreting groundlessness as some cosmic ground, or as some like fundamental reality, and that subtle interpretation can cause these ideas like trying to abide in something, trying to stabilize something, trying to maintain a sort of state. It's why you can still feel like you need to meditate, you need to produce effort to maintain a state of peace, because it's the view. There's still a view being formed, and when there's a view, there's a subtle small center. There's something that's holding that view. So who are you? What's this moment without any of your ideas about it? What's this without any concept, without any landing pad? What's this moment without any of my labels, like consciousness, emptiness, God? What's here if I don't hold on to anything? Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.